Nice. Do you have a model 1907 Winchester self-loading rifle? Can't find ammunition? I'm going to show you how I make 351 WSL for this rifle out of 5.56 cases. Stick around. All right, we're going to start by trimming the case a little bit. I'm using this little chop saw that you can get from Harbor Freight for pretty cheap. And what I'm doing is I'm aligning the shoulder up to where the edge of this vise basically is and tightening it up. It doesn't have to be super tight, just needs to hold it in place. We'll turn this on, shut this off. It's not rocket science, you're just chopping that off. Once it's done, you have a much wider opening. Okay, before we trim this, I'm going to run this up in the die and pop out this primer. So we'll lube this up real quick. Put this up in the die. It's actually smaller diameter than what the chamber is, at least on my rifle, and also on this die. So it goes up really easily. Pops that primer out. There we go. Now we'll take this over to the trimmer. All right, now we're going to trim this down. This is going to be trimmed to 1.380. Let's put this into the machine, lock it in place, holds it good and tight. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and trim this down to proper length. Okay, now we'll deburr and chamfer this. All right, now it's time to clean the inside and the outside. So we'll put it on top of this one, clean the inside. This one, clean the outside, knock off the outside edges. Brush. There it is. All right, now it's time for a primer, powder, and a bullet. Okay, time to put the primer in. So set the case on shell plate. Primer in there. I'm using Winchester small rifle primers. Open this up, bring that down. There it is. Time for powder and a bullet. Okay, before we add powder, we're going to open up the case neck to accept the bullet. So I'm setting this in my Forster die because it's a lot easier. Bring this down. There we go. Open it up. And this opens up the case mouth. Now I'm going to do one extra step on this because I found that the bullets, I have sized them to .352. And this case mouth is actually a little bit smaller than that. And it could be because the cases are 5.56 and a little bit thicker. So if you're gonna use 5.56 or 223, make sure you separate them because 223 could be a little bit thinner cased, 5.56 a little bit thicker, and you may run into the same problem. I'm gonna show you how I resolve this in just a sec, and then we'll add powder. All right, so we have our case there. What I have is a punch. You can get these at Harbor Freight. They're really cheap too. They come in different sizes. This one just happens to fit right on top of the mouth. And all I'm doing is giving a little tap. That's all we need there. That opens it up just enough. See, we're not trying to get it stuck or anything. It opens it up just enough to allow the bullets that we cut to fit properly. There we go. Now it'll seat in properly. Onto the powder. Okay, after doing some research, I found that the load data for 357 Magnum will work in this gun. So because these are cast lead bullets, I'm going off a cast lead book, a Lyman book, and the recommended usage for powders are in that book as well. I'm using H110, and with H110, the lowest you can go is 16.0. Now you might want to go 10% below depending on your firearm. I've already tested this. I've tested 16.0 and the max was 16.5. Both of them worked in my gun, so I'm going to go 16.0 because it is a little lighter shooting with that half a grain difference. So we'll take the case and we'll put the funnel on. There's 16.0 grains. Put that in. On to seating the bullet. Okay, when it comes to bullets, I'm actually using this bullet mold, which is a Lyman. It is 2660009. It's 35 caliber, but it's a 280 grain bullet. And that's what these come out as here. They're pretty large, at least long, I mean. We don't need this much, but I have this on hand and I don't feel like purchasing another mold. I did look for the proper mold for a 351. You can find them out there. The last one I just saw went on eBay and sold for about 250 bucks. You can go to Accurate Molds. They will make you a mold or a double mold even if you want to go that route. I have this one and I also have a lathe, so I'm just going to trim these down to make them the proper length and weight. I'm doing 160 grains. So for me, if I trim these down, I'll trim it down to that last little ring right there, and that'll give me a 160 grain bullet. All right, last step. We have the die set up to seat the bullet, and put the case in there. It's got the powder. We have our bullet here, and the overall length that's recommended is 1.900. So we'll put this in like so. There we go. Seats in real nice. It's nice and tight. It doesn't, oops, nice and tight. It doesn't spin. And the overall length is 1.8975. Works for me. So I'll knock a couple more of these out and then we'll go outside and test them out on the range. All right, guys, we're about 30 yards from the target. It's right over there. And I'm going to put the first 5 cartridges into the magazine. All right, there we go. 5 cartridges. Let's send them downrange and see what they do. Ooh, kicks it out. This thing's cool. This is fun. It hits hard. Nice. So that's 3, we got 2 more. That's it. Everyone ejected, everyone fired. Sweet. Let's do it again. All right, guys. Let's do 5 more. Okay, 5 rounds. Magazine in. Loaded. pretty cool, man. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so we had a little hiccup. So we have that didn't look good. Let's see. All right, we're gonna take a break here. For some reason, this one went upside. Looks like maybe the bullet popped out a little bit. Maybe it didn't have a good crimp. Lodged it in the barrel, popped out the case. I saw powder fly out, so the bullet's still stuck in the barrel. We'll clean this out real quick, and we'll come right back. All right, guys, I got the bullet out. Looks like it engaged the rifle in just enough, so it must have popped forward when it was shoved up into battery and pushed too far forward, causing it to stay back just a little bit, I guess. Got it cleared out. I got one more in the magazine. Let's try it out. Okay, here we go. All right, good. I got 5 more. Let's try those. All right, magazine out. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 5. Okay. Up. Good to go. Let's do it. Yeah, that was cool. Let's go down range and see how we did. All right, not too bad. So again, this is 30 yards. It's pretty close, but you can see it's got a pretty good grouping. If I do my part, these ones are scattered. Just from me messing with the rifle and not getting it on correctly, or getting my sights on. But you can see when my sights are on, I was taking my time doing everything right. They grouped in real good. The cases, they all did really, really well. There is some blow by on some of them, and the reason is because I trimmed some of the bullets a little bit lighter out to 155 grain instead of 160, which put the H110 at 15 grains instead of 16 or 16.5. And I think because of that, these cases are a little stiffer. They didn't seal up correctly and it blew by just a pinch. But they all worked, they all cycled, everything fired, and everything hit where it was supposed to hit. So this works for my rifle. Thank you guys again for tuning in. And if you have anything to say down below, please feel free to do so. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next round.